Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Team Next. Welcome to the Team Next Generation call. It is Wednesday, January 24th, and babe, when are we gonna do our announcement? Should we just do that
now? We're doing it right now.
You want to take that?
I guess so. I guess that'll make me in a good mood. I had a really poopy day today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So this will make it better. So Jessica and I have been talking, and Jessica, we put Jessica in as well. Is like we've had the team, like Team Next Generation, for like 4 years, but it was just something that we came up with on the spur of the moment. Like, let's do something. So, but it didn't really have much meaning. So I just started like words kind of explain and kind of what I think that we're all about, like helping others as well as our own team. And a word that like popped up, and of course I can't find it right now because I'm really bad at definitions, was revival. And because it talks about like renewal and, kind of, people are always looking for transformations, right? Physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually and all that good stuff. And so I think that really reflects our team and the people on our team. And so we've decided that we are switching the name officially to Team Revival. And again, we're doing it because, for one, we've got a lot of new people that are really like super passionate about what we're doing, collectively as a group. And this is a revival for all of us, right? It's not, Justin and Deanna founded this. It's like, hey, we're all doing this together. We're all like, this is our group. And so I just kind of want to, I guess, start fresh. Like it was 4 years ago that we made it that name, just again, because we had to. But this one actually has meaning behind it. And I will find the definition, but it means a lot to me. So that's what we're going to be known as. So when Beachbody recognizes our team, that's what they'll be recognizing us as. And of course, I'm still looking. So revival is an improvement in the condition or strength of something. And so I think that, we're trying to improve ourselves. We're trying to strengthen ourselves, like our physical mind, our physical body, and our whatever mind, or not physical mind, whatever. And then just a lot of like of the synonyms that match revival just was really, really uplifting. And so I think if we go in there with a mindset of, we're trying to have a revival in ourselves and in the people we're helping. So Team Revival we are. Ooh, we need to have like a handshake though.
Oh, no, we don't. We absolutely never need to have a handshake, actually. But great idea, babe. Thanks for sharing. No, but it is, guys. Really, honestly, it's so much more than we felt. It was just Team Next Generation had ran its course. The name didn't have the meaning like she's talking about, and truly, kind of what we'll actually be talking about today. This kind of can still segue into what we're talking about today, and the idea that we really are seeking to create a revival of sorts in ourselves through what we do, but also in the people that we're talking to, that we're having conversations with, and that we're offering the same tools that we utilize to help them, right? We're looking to try and help, maybe just touch in some way, some part of them that allows them to have their own revivals, right? Their own transformations and changes and strengthening and all that great stuff. So it really it was more not just a name for the team, but also almost a mission statement within itself that we can all kind of keep in mind and say, okay, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. And if this is not my purpose, maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing and why I'm here. Because if my purpose is not to change people's lives, I probably shouldn't be doing what we're doing, because it's not going to work and it's not going to be fun at the end of the day. So I really felt when she said that, I was like spot on, and that's what we'll go with. And so I am excited to share that with you guys tonight. And it's getting weird saying Team Next Generation when I know we're changing it. So I'm just going to stop saying that and say that from now on, it's Team Revival. So all of you guys here tonight, and the first ones to hear it, you will be the infants and the family of, or the name or the legacy of Team Revival. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so tonight we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk about invites. We're going to talk about the fears of invites. We're going to talk about the how of an invite, why we do it, what it looks like, who we do it, a process for it. So we're going to go through, we're going to dig deep, guys. We're going to unpack a lot of stuff about invites. It is the most important thing that we do honestly and seriously, we need to understand that. So we're going to talk a lot about it. But before we do that, Jessica, do you want to jump on board and share some announcements and all that?
Yeah. So there's not a ton of new stuff. You guys heard me say it last week, or maybe you didn't if you weren't on the call, but Team Cup, you guys, the time is now. In fact, my team needs one more person. So Team Cup is where we get 5 coaches together, and then we push for the month to try to help as many people as we can. The more people we help, the more prizes we win. It's fun. We're going to have a group page where there's multiple teams from Team Revival. I did that really well. Where we get to like cheer each other on as a big group too. So definitely if you are here on this call, I'm guessing you already have a Team Cup group, right? Yes? Good. Okay. If you don't get one, it helps you create camaraderie with your team. It helps you build your business and get momentum and practice and learn. If you're a new coach, learn what we do to build our businesses as coaches. So get on yes. Justin.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but guys, just to speak to this real quick before we move on, I know that there's going to be people that are either on this call or watching this call a little bit later, right? Tomorrow, whatever. Team Cup is not about pressure. Team Cup is about pushing yourself outside a little bit of your comfort zone. I know there's many brand new coaches that might be scared to take on something like what they think Team Cup is going to be about, or scared to like really dive in to what we do as coaches. I understand it as something that we all go through, right? But Team Cup isn't something you should be scared of. Team Cup is something that you use as a tool to say, okay, I've got a group of people. We're all going to run these individual groups as one larger group. So we've got a big group of people that are all going to come together. And our job is to share everything we can possibly share with each other. But more than that, to really help inspire and motivate each other to do that little extra thing that steps outside of their comfort zone and really start building a foundation and helping more people and pushing yourself. It's kind of like the workouts, right? We're all going to have to do stuff that's uncomfortable in those workouts. That's how we get results. The nutrition plans are scary. That's why they work. That's how we get results. So sometimes the group is there to just kind of push you, to keep you accountable, to make you do the things you need to do so that you get those results. That's what a Team Cup is all about. So it is a big deal. And I would say it's a big deal for seasoned coaches. It's a far bigger opportunity for new coaches that are just thinking about, hey, this is something, a direction I want to head. This is like the best thing that can happen for you right now. So if you're not on a Team Cup yet and you're new and you're thinking it might be something that you're, okay, I'm on the fence, but maybe get on the other side of the fence, jump on board, reach out to us, reach out to the coach that added you to the group, reach out to your coach, whatever you need to do, but get on one because you'll wish you did. I guarantee it will be such an incredible impact on your business. I'm sorry, Jessica, go.
No, you're good. The only thing I could add is if you're a seasoned coach, because I'm looking at one on my team right now that would be the perfect 5th member of our group. Anyway, okay, so for Team Cup 2, we're going to have Sunday night calls at 6 p.m. Pacific, just a little with the multiple teams to, talk about strategies, cheer each other on. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but we do that a lot because it's more fun when we do it as a group. So Sunday night calls for that. The only other thing that I was going to mention, I don't know if any of you guys are reaching out to people in the UK. I certainly have done a few of them lately, and I was struggling with how to get them signed up because you couldn't do ShareCart, whatever. Now you can. So easy peasy. That's something new, especially for you coaches that are in the UK. You guys have access to that now. If you need help navigating it, let us know, and we'll get you guys all dialed in. And I think, unless you guys have anything else, announcements, we can move on to doing some shout-outs, recognizing some of the awesome people on our team. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Anybody have any shout-outs specific? Yeah. Jessica, do you have one?
I do, but it's to all the coaches that are helping to lead my test group right now. Jen, Tammy, Justice, who jumped in last week like a boss and started doing his coach posts. Lindsay and Vanessa and Kimberly, they're all killing it. They're showing up every day. They're commenting on people's posts. And basically, I'm just so proud because that is what our mission is to help these people. And when they are getting interaction from other people, they feel like $1 million. So shout out to my coaches for doing all that work. That's
nice.
it. Anybody else? Recognize.
I got two if I can real quick. So first of all, I want to recognize Chanel for this is her very first call with us, or coming on the call. So I've been working a bit with her on the outside of this. She was actually a coach. How long ago did you coach, Chanel? Like when did you, 4 years ago, she was a coach, and then she started up coaching again. And so that's part of what I think is really cool. When you do something and you feel like, oh, I don't know, you can feel like I got disconnected from it, or maybe I feel like I failed in it, or maybe I feel like it just didn't work or whatever. And then you come to a place where you're like, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to go for that again. I'm going to push through all those other concerns. And I'm sure you've seen her posts that I've posted in the team page where she went live, like very coachable. Everything we say, she's like, okay, I'm going for it. I'll go all the way in on it. And so I'm really, really proud of that myself. I think it's really awesome because I know how hard that can be for people.
And she has 11 people she's adding to her Clean Week group.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's fantastic. So shout out. Well done. Very good. And we love having you on the call tonight. So I'm glad you can be here because I know it's really late where you are. And I know you got to be up early in the morning. So I appreciate that. And I'm going to make a shout out for Chloe, only because I know Chloe won't talk on the call because she always messages like, don't you dare talk to me. She's still giving me crap about that. So we were talking earlier. And so I wanted to just tell Maria tell you guys, like, so Maria and all of us, we've got this me and Chloe and Maria have this little private thread going on where anytime she invites somebody or she's talking to somebody, she'll screenshot the conversations and send it to us so we can help try to figure out ways to reply, right? But absolute, incredible conversations going on, super coachable, super just a massive heart to jump in and really kind of go for it and really focus on changing people's lives. So I just think it's really cool to see. We always say we love it when people ask questions, please ask questions. And this is I could show you message after message after message where normally people are like, well, I don't want to bug you, so I don't want to send it. And she's like, nope, you told me to send it. I'm sending them. And I'm like, yes, thank you. It's awesome. So I think that's fantastic. And so those are two big shout outs that I have. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
I'll just share really quick. There's only a couple girls. Just in general, our 80-day obsession group is kicking some major booty. It's phenomenal. Legitimately, I'm going to be honest, I can't keep up with all the posts, but it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing because everybody is supporting one another. So typically I would go, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm dropping the ball. Now I feel okay because everybody's got each other's back, which is awesome. So I love that I don't have to coach because at the end of the day, we're all learning this program together for the first time. So we're all essentially at a level playing field. So I love that everybody's a coach in there. And so it's amazing. So shout out to you ladies that are in the group because you guys are killing it.
For sure. Absolutely. Jessica, did you have one more?
Really super fast. Jen did something pretty cool this week. She reached out to somebody and she'd been thinking about it for a while about doing a group with their work and doing a Biggest Loser type of thing. But tweaking it to fit how we do things. And she put it out there and I bet you it's going to happen. But the reason I wanted to shout that out is it's innovative. It's thinking outside the box. And she was terrified to do it and she did it anyway. So props.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's massive. You can't shout somebody out more. You can't be more excited for somebody than when they do something that scares them. Because that's really the only thing that stands in our way of being successful as coaches is just getting past the stuff that scares us. If we do that, you will be successful. It's a simple act after that. But those are the things that stand on our roadblocks. So anytime somebody can push one of those down, it's amazing to watch. It's one of the coolest things. I love it. Jonna, do you want to jump into the first part, the questions, and then we'll kind of move from there?
Yeah. Sorry. And I just saw our agenda recently. So let me pull it up again. Okay. And I need my glasses, but okay. Okay, so we are talking about fear of inviting today. Am I on the right spot, babe?
Yeah, we're talking about all inviting, okay. But yes, you're right.
I'm sorry. So, fear of inviting. Sorry. So, okay, who here has or had a fear of inviting? Oh my gosh. Huge. So here's what I would do as a new coach. I'm going to post what I'm doing and wait for people to come to me. You know how many people I got? Okay, well, I got 2. I got 2. Like, because I was really super excited. Like, I'm doing this thing. Like, but 2 out of like 4 years or whatever, just by, but I get it because it's scary, because I think when we get that, either pay that coach fee or get signed up with the challenge pack and get assigned that title of coach, that somehow our brains mentally change from, hey, I'm on this journey, to, oh my gosh, I need to help somebody else. And I think that sometimes that can be a really weird place, and it goes from, oh my gosh, I love this thing and I get to share it with people, like, oh my gosh, I don't love these headphones, so don't get them, but they're really cute. But if I liked them, I'd say, oh my gosh, you got to get these, they're only $19.99, like, these are dope, like, why wouldn't you get them, right? But when we are somehow the person that makes an income off them, but we love them equally as much, then all of a sudden we feel like, ooh, now we're being salesy. But I guarantee that if you guys did a challenge group before you became a coach, I guarantee you're sharing it with people before you became a coach. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love it. Like, the groups are amazing. But then you as a coach, and then I'll stop that, I mean, why wouldn't you want to share, this awesome thing that we have? Sorry, I'm really bad. I did not even look at this agenda before.
No, that's okay. You're good, because you're really.
Yeah, you have to help me out. I'm a hot mess.
Okay, I'll move on to the next one, and then you can go and give you time to look at the rest of them. So yes, like she's talking about, right? We all have fears. Every single one of us has it. So first of all, recognize that you are not alone in the fact that you are fearful, or you have been fearful. And even if you are not fearful right now, right? Because, hey, I'm good with inviting to the challenge groups. I've done it 1,000 times. I guarantee there might be a little fear in inviting to the coaching opportunity, or there might be a little fear in something, right? There's always that there, until you get to a place where you've done so much of it that you just recognize it. It's really not that big of a deal. It's actually the conversation that Jen and I had today when she went through the process of talking to somebody and inviting her friend to do this Biggest Loser group, right? And send that out. And she's like, look, I just said, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I'm just, bless and release and send it out there and see what happens. And at the end of the day, she's like, it didn't kill me. I didn't die. Right? Like, it was okay. Right? And a lot of times you just have to go through that process. But we also need to understand, right? We're going to talk about all of inviting tonight. So we're going to talk about why we do it, how we do it, what the process looks like, and who we invite, right? And all these things. So starting out with just why, it is mainly it's because every single one of us in this group, we are all here on this call especially, or watching this call later, because we love what we're doing, or we wouldn't be here. If you don't love the fact that the way the programs work, if they have not impacted your life, if Shakeology has not impacted your life, if one of the groups has not impacted your life, you should not be here. Go away. Just quit. Stop. If you don't have a belief in what we do, you don't want to do this, right? So we all are here because we have a belief in it, or we wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. So we all understand that, look, we love what we're doing and it's made an impact on us. Now, if our goal is truly, we're at a place where it's like, I love this and I want to share this with other people. Now we have the responsibility on ourselves to share it with other people. We don't have the luxury, as being somebody that wants to help other people, to sit back and just hope that other people come to us. Because we have to think about it this way. What about the person out there right now that you don't know? They don't like or comment on any of your stuff on Facebook. They don't reach out to you in private message. Maybe they like or something that you post every once in a while, right? What about the person that wants more than anything to change the way they feel, to change the way they look, to change the way they approach life and work out? They don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. They have no idea. They don't have a support system. They have zero support system. None of their family will support them. None of their friends will support them. We've all been through this with somebody that we know, right? Nobody's there to support them except for you, but the only way they will ever have the guts to actually get involved with something that you do is because you reached out to them, because they don't have the guts to reach out to you. They feel weird. They feel dumb. They feel like they shouldn't reach out to you. Maybe they don't even know that they can reach out to you. If we're going to impact lives, it's our goal and our responsibility to reach out to people to let them know that we're here. Where our fear lies, 9 out of 10 times, where our fear lies is the idea that we, A, don't want to look like a salesman, or B, we're worried about their response. Well, we're worried about their response because we're worried about the way they're going to view what we're doing. We're worried that we're going to come off in a way that either makes us look like we're trying to be pushy or like we drank the Kool-Aid or something weird, or we're a weird person, and we're concerned about the way they're going to react to that, right? The fact of the matter is, if you don't want it to come off that way, don't. If you don't want them to think you're a salesman, don't try to sell something. Like, it really honestly is. I know that sounds like I'm really simplifying it, but it truly is. And we're going to go through that in the wording and the way that we approach people and how we go through the invite process. But at a most upfront level, we have to understand that take off that coach hat, right? We have to reach out to people to let them know what we're doing. It's our duty to change lives. Like, this is the responsibility that we take on ourselves. This is also the best thing that we get to do, right? So we have to reach out to people. We will show you and tell you how to do it so it's not pushy, because we don't want to try to push people into it. It's never going to be our goal, right? But we also have to recognize that needs to be done. It is a necessity. If we want to change our lives, we have to invite people so that we can have the opportunity to change their lives. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to come to us. It just doesn't work like that. So we're going to help you through this on how to get past the concerns, how to not come off as a salesman, how to not have that mentality or get involved in that. And then through that, you're going to learn, okay, well, this is how we do it. And we're going to make it really simple for you. The major idea is, sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing. Okay, so here's a way I want you to think and visualize, and then we'll move on to actually how the process works. But moving into that, here's a way I want you to visualize what an invite is. I'm just gonna kind of create it in a package for you. And many of you, especially if I've talked to you before, many of you have already gone through this process with me. I've expressed this analogy before, but sometimes we actually need to step back and literally look at it. Well, not literally. Legitimately look at it through this lens. An invite is truly you inviting a friend to go to dinner with you, okay, on every level. Think about it this way. If you're at a party and you run into somebody that maybe you haven't seen in a while, or maybe it's somebody that you just met, or maybe it's a great friend that happens to be at this party, and you and a couple other people are going to go out to dinner, think about how you're going to invite them. First of all, you're not going to be pushy about it, because at the end of the day, it's no skin off your teeth if they say no. You're going to look at them and go, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested. Me and some friends are going to go have this, go to the sushi restaurant. Love to have you go with us if it's something you want to do, or if you want to join us. We'd love to have you there. It's literally that basic, right? It's just that. And they're going to either say yes or no. But at the end of the day, there's no pressure from you. You wouldn't think twice about inviting somebody that you just met, that you liked, or a friend or whatever, to go to dinner with you. Because here's the deal. You don't own the restaurant. You're not a waiter there, right? Like, you don't work there. You don't profit from it, so you don't think anything of it. The second we put the coach hat on, like Deanna was talking about, and we start thinking, okay, now it's going to get icky because I actually gained something from this. Why does that all of a sudden get icky? Because you're not going to shove it down their throat. And they're going to get it somewhere anyway. So does it feel better to you if they go to the restaurant without you, because maybe there was like, it's your friend that owns the restaurant and it's helping your friend, so now it's weird because there's some sort of payout? Like, no, you don't even think about it. So the process of the invitation goes exactly the same way when we talk to people. We think about it like that. We don't have to be the experts, right? So we don't own the restaurant, or we're not the chef, right? We're just there we're going to go have a meal because we share what we love about it, because we've been to this restaurant and it's amazing, and we are so excited to share that with them. And we're just going to nonchalant, like, hey, you want to roll? Cool if you do. I get it if you don't. It has nothing personal against me. You got other plans, no worries, right? It's really that simple. So keeping that in your mind, think about that when you're going through an invitation process. Keep it that simple. Keep it that light. Understand that when you reach out to somebody, that's how it's going to look. You're not trying to pressure them into it, and they're not going to feel that pressure if you're not trying to pressure them into it, right? So that's kind of how it's going to roll. the big deal is, okay, now we know kind of why and what the framework looks like, but let's talk about a literal, what does it look like? What is an invite? How does it look? I'm happy to share the ones that we use, the ones that I use. And I'm sure there's multitude of people on here that would be happy to share the ones that they use and what works for them. Deanna, do you want to talk about, like what it actually looks like? Who do we invite? That stuff. Did you see that part on the itinerary? Okay. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
She's really good at this, guys.
Oh boy, pressure. So what does an invite look like? Like he said, it's just an invite like you would ask a friend to dinner or to coffee. You keep it super simple, and what I always like to do is you give them permission to say no. And when I first started coaching, and a lot of times we've learned from mistakes, and so we're able to share it with you guys, and we're constantly still a work in progress always, because things are always changing. But I used to go, hey, I'm doing this new thing, and it's this and this and this, and it would be like 4 paragraphs because I was just so excited to share everything. And for one, I ended up sounding kind of salesy when that was absolutely wanted to be the polar opposite of that. And some people are like, what's going on? And you know me, if I get like a message that has more than 2 sentences, I'll usually tune it out by like the 3rd because I'm very squirrely. So I try to write to people that way. So really giving them permission to say no and being okay with that, right? Because they're not saying, no, I don't like you. They're like, no, maybe I am not really worried about my health and fitness right now, which is okay. Or maybe they already have something that's working for them. That's okay too. So when I people, I keep sentences. I'm like, hey girl, how are you doing? Mind you, there's been hopefully conversations or comments, or you're getting to know them a little bit via social media. If these are newer friends, but you're just like, hey girl, totally random. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, but me and some girls are going to be doing this online health and fitness group. It'd totally be fun. Do you think it's something you'd be interested in? That's it. Because it's just really casual, because I want them to feel comfortable to tell me no, because at the end of the day, I don't want people feeling forced to do anything, so you just keep it really casual and like, cool. And if they come back and they're like, sure, send me some more information, then you make it about them, and you don't word vomit, which I've done. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. It does 30-minute workouts and da-da-da-da. And it's like paragraph. But instead I'm like, awesome. I would love to do this together. I know I got some goals for the new year, but I'd love to hear more about yours. Let them make it all about them. Like the more you can pour into them, the more you can learn about them, the more you can ask about them, they're going to know that you care about them. They're going to realize that they're not a dollar sign or a sale, because if people really know what Beachbody coaching is, the sale is just the beginning of our relationship together, right? That's just a tool that I get to help you utilize together throughout the journey, whether you're with me for 1 round or I've got people that have been in my groups for 4 years. And so just really coming from a place of making it about them. I know I kind of got off on the invite part, but that's really super important. Don't worry about throwing them information. Get to know them. Like, assume you don't know. Because we don't know what program would be best for them or anything like that. So you ask them questions about them. And then say you find, you're like, oh my gosh, I know she would love 21 Day Fix, or I know she'd love 80 Day Obsession. You don't have to be the expert. I think that's a lot of things that we as coaches think like, oh, we have to have all the answers. No, we don't. The only person that might have the answer here is Amy or Clory, because they're personal trainers, right? We don't have to have all the answers. All we get to do is, oh my gosh, you know what I loved? Like, there's a program I think you might really like, because I know I'm a busy mom, and so time's of the essence, but there's this program that's like 30-minute workouts, and it's got a meal plan that my whole family can eat. Or, oh my gosh, I have a girlfriend that did this program. Like, if you haven't done the program, I have this girlfriend that did this program, and she loved it. Like, her and her family were totally into it. Like, you want to check it out? So just really keeping it casual. Don't feel like you have to have all the answers. Like, you're going to lose this much, and here's how much it's going to be, and all this stuff. So sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. So honey, you said something about for friends and family and new friends. So
Yeah, so I'm speaking like pretty literal, like, so, okay, anybody that's watching this now or that watches it later, if you want specific examples of what like the invites, like I have a list, like I could copy and paste a list of different invites I use. I use different invites if somebody is a really close friend. I use a different invite for somebody that I've just met. Or that, you know, I have a different invite for somebody that I have spoken to and it's been a long time, but it's kind of a follow-up message. I have a response and when I send an invite and somebody responds with, I'm interested, tell me more. I've got to, you know, and the reason I have these specific responses is not to make it cold, and it's not to be like non-interested, right? It is a copy and paste response, but within that, I'm also building a relationship otherwise, right? But these copy and paste responses allow us to be more efficient with our time. So we can, the stuff that I know I'm going to say 100 times. So tell me more about this group. You know, what's it all about? I know what I'm going to say in that message. So it's copy and paste. I send it out. And then when they respond, it ends with a question. What are your goals? What do you want to work on? And then we can move from there. And now we start building a relationship. We start doing the work. I know I do the work that only I can do, right? Only I can respond to them doing that kind of, you know, in those kinds of relationships and those messages. Only you guys can respond to people that are talking to you. But there are a lot of stuff that's like the initial invitation, right? It's just like, hey, this is quick and simple. So there's a lot of that stuff. If you have any questions, reach out to us, reach out to your coach, reach out to whoever that you know as one, or if anybody wants to put that in there. The only thing is if we put any of these in the chat box right now, people that are watching this after won't be able to see it, right? So there are some in the file section at Team Next Generation, but also we have our own, and I've got one that I use. So I'm happy to share all of that stuff with you guys. I'm sure Deanna is as well. So that's really what we were talking about, is I wanted to give you guys kind of an idea of exactly how they look like. Literally, what do we say, like, for friends and family? Deanna, do you have one right in front of you that you can read? I can't access.
I do, and actually mine are the same no matter who it is. That's how generic I am, because I've been conversing with them, you know, prior to. So it just says, hey girl, random, not sure if this is your thing, but I wanted to invite you to an online health and fitness group me and some other ladies are doing. If I sent you more information, you want to check it out? That's it. Simple.
It's super basic. It's non-aggressive. It's very like, hey, I don't know if this is your thing or not, right? It gives them permission to say, you know, it's just not my thing. Thank you, though. Cool, right? There's no like, hey, it's the same kind of thing we were talking about the restaurant. Hey, I don't know if this is your thing. You know, me and some friends are going to go to the steak restaurant. You know, I don't know. We'd love to have you if you want. You know, you want to check it out? Like, it's really kind of nonchalant. What happens is we have a tendency, especially when we first started, and I was terrible about this, especially me, guys. Could you imagine, as much as I talk, do you have any idea how long my invites were? It was obnoxious. People were paperback binding these bitches because they're like, dude, this is like a 45-page letter. I can't read this, right? It was absurd. So with that said, what I've found, honestly, is, and there's actually a training by a guy named Bob Heilig that actually Jessica posted in the team page today. Go and look at that. We utilize Bob as our insight when we're going through training. Like, this is the guy that we take training from on how to grow the business and how to share on social media. It's amazing. Go look at his stuff. But he will be the first to tell you, the less you say, right, the better you will be. Like, the better off you will be. Just the less you talk about it, because we'll talk people out of it because we keep on talking so much it becomes overwhelming, right? So kind of just, you know, keep that in mind. And you can use the same one, like Deanna's talking about. You can use the same one for everybody. It just because, well, I'll tell you a process, exactly what I do every single day, so do you guys understand the process. But do understand that the initial invitation, even though it might be copy and paste, if you will, right? So not as warm in the feeling, right? Or it's a little bit more generic. It doesn't mean that it has to be a cold invite, because there's ways that we can get it. So it's still a warm invite. It's still somebody you've had a conversation with. You're just sending this message out. But also, it doesn't mean that you're not interested, because you're going to use that just to get the conversation started, to then start diving in to the important questions, which is, let me learn your pain points. Let me learn how I can be of some sort of inspiration or motivation or help to you. I need to know what you need help with, so we can see if this stuff works for you, or if it's going to make sense and it's going to fit into your life, right? So there's still going to be a conversation. There's still going to be a relationship. This is just getting the ball rolling. just so that you have a way to start that relationship, right? So kind of keep that in mind. Do you want to share, babe, where do you invite from? Like, where do you find your invites? Who do you invite? Like, how does that work for you?
I invite everybody, unless they have a penis, and then I don't, because I only invite girls.
Well, there's that. Okay. So let's give you guys a little bit more of a process here. There's a few things that we do every day as an absolute to help as many people as we possibly can. Those things are, obviously, we work on ourselves. Number one, and we've talked about this, if you have not gone back and looked at the recent team calls, the last few team calls, go back and look at them now, because we're doing them in order like this on purpose. We started out with what do we focus on and everything like that, and what are the important things. Then we moved into how do we share online? And now we're moving into the invite process. The most important things we do every day are work on ourselves, our personal development, our physical being, right? We dial into a program, we lock in the program, and we do the best that we possibly can in that program. Okay, we have to lead from the front lines. The next thing we do is we share online, and how we share online. And the reason these things work together is because guess what? The people that we invite come more often than not from what we're sharing online. If we're being authentic and we're sharing our story and we're sharing about us, then what's going to happen is we're going to start attracting people to follow us and to comment and to like and to do all this. We do things like what they call call to actions, right? Which every once in a while we'll pepper in. I'll flat out throw a post up of some responses that we've been getting in the team, in the group, or something that's exciting me, and flat say, hey, if you want to jump into one of these groups or something, just comment, and I'll put little thumb signs, like finger signs, down, 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 right? Let me know, reach out in a message, like this, whatever. Heads up, you do have to be a little bit careful about doing that on Facebook right now, because Facebook will, if they see too much like of the comment below, they'll actually not show your posts to as many people. So we do things like, let me know, and then, with the fingers, right? So it's like, let me know below. If you do live videos, which we try to say, like, realistically at this day, with the way Facebook is going, we really need to be doing live videos. Like, it's only going to benefit things so much more. You can say in the live video, hey, at the very end, look, if this is something you feel called to do, if you've been looking for a change in your life, if things have been going great, but maybe you want to switch things up, or you don't even know where to start, reach out. Let me know. I am jacked to introduce you to my family of friends that we are killing it because they're amazing people. I would love to have in this community. So jump on in. I just got to know so I can tell you what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you can say that. Hey, comment below. Like it. You can do that in a video. You got to be a little bit careful with how we phrase that in a post. But when we're sharing online, then we have people to go in and actually start inviting and start creating conversations with and talking. So that's part of the reason that is such an important aspect of what we do. So we invite people from posts, right? I'll share my exact process. Before that, what we do not do, and guys, there have been coaches that have been very successful doing this at certain times. There are times where Deanna and I will do this legitimately. If we have a serious push for something, if our goal is big for a month or whatever, and we're really going for it, we will do this. I'll tell you, when we do this, our success rate is very low. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But one thing that I say, really try not to do unless we have to, but some people do it, is the super cold invite, where you're just picking people off the list. You've never had any sort of interaction or comment with them or whatsoever, and you're just sending them a generic invite, bam, right? And you're just going for it. Like I said, there are coaches that do it. There are some people that have success with it. It can work, but as a general rule of thumb, I would not want that to be the foundation of how you invite people. Your foundation needs to be what the process I'll tell you right now, something similar to it, where we build a relationship, then we invite. And building the relationship doesn't take as long as we might think it does. So I'll give you my process, and then Deanna, if you want to share your process too, I'll have you do that as well. My process looks very simple. Okay, this is what I do every single day. I wake up every day. I add friends, right? So another way we're commenting, or we're creating posts. In that post, if we're getting interaction, we're going to find that we're also probably find if our pages are public, which they should be. Make sure that your Facebook page or your social media is public. When I'm doing that, you're going to have some people. Deanna, you should shake your head like no. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I was like, where'd my ring Oh, and I look and it's right there. I was like, why is it here?
If it's public, you're gonna find that sometimes there are people commenting on your page that you're not friends with, or liking stuff that you're not friends with. I always search them real quick or look at their profile real quick, add them as a friend. But either way, I am adding on Facebook. I'm adding 3 to 5 people, no more than that, because Facebook will kind of get pissy about it and shut you down, right? So they don't like to see too many friends added on Facebook. But 3 to 5 every single day. Then what I do is every day I go in and I go to my friends list and I click on recently added friends and I look at anybody that I have not spoken to before, right? And my goal is a minimum of 10 new conversations. And all that looks like is I legitimately have a little folder and I click on everybody's name and I open them their Facebook profile in a separate little tab. And then I click on that tab and I look at their profile and I find something I can comment on and I comment. And then I close the tab out and I write their name down. And then I go to the next one and I try to do that with 10 people. If I don't have enough new friends to do that with, I go to my old friends list and I scroll down until I find somebody that I haven't spoken to in a long time and I write their name down. Many people will actually print out their Facebook list, their friend list, and literally just go down the list and cross off names when they friended them. So that's an option as well. In fact, that's something I want to do. So Deanna, don't forget, will you do me a favor and print out my list? Thank you. At some point, it's kind of a pain, but it works. But I do that, right? So I have 10 people there. Then the next day I go in, I've commented on there. Sometimes they've responded or whatever. Then I go in and I invite them. I send them an invite and it's that generic invite. We've had a little bit of conversation. They've seen that I liked and commented on something. I'm not some completely random person. I would liken it to actually walking into a party where you've never met. You met a couple people, but you don't know somebody, and walking up and just being like, oh my God, I love your jacket. That's awesome. Where'd you get that? And they go, oh, I got it over here. And you're like, cool. And then your friend grabs you and you guys start talking and that conversation dies. And then you guys are going out and they happen to be there, right? And you guys are going to go grab dinner. You're like, hey, I don't know if you want to roll, but we're going to go grab some dinner. You got a great restaurant. You want to come with us? We'd love to have you. It's really nonchalant. It doesn't seem weird, right? Like it makes a little bit of sense. So that's my process that I do every single day. If I don't have again, if I'm looking through and somebody's just not active or whatever, and I'm feeling like, I looked through it, I commented on their page, they're not active. I don't know if I really want to send this person a message and invite them yet. It doesn't feel right. Something just feels, I don't know. There's just no interaction there. Then I can go back to my posts and I can look at all my posts recently and say, okay, I had this post about health and fitness. I'm going to go through, this person liked it. I haven't talked to them in a while. Perfect person to be like, hey, thanks for liking my post. I have no idea if you'd been interested. No pressure. Want to let you know, I got a really cool group going on with some really awesome people. We're just, we're loving it. It's a health and fitness accountability group. Love to have you if it's something you might want to jump in on. Like super basic. That's my literal process. I legit do that every day. I write it down. Some people have other processes. Some people use Teamsy. They'll use like online stuff. They'll use Google Streak. They'll use, whatever it is like on the computer. I legit write mine down in a book because then on Thursdays, and we'll talk about this in just a second, but then on Thursdays, I can go through and do follow-ups. And then I go back, and Friday we do invites and new conversations, invites and new conversations. And I keep on doing that, and I just repeat this. What this does is it keeps it A, systematic, B, it allows me to funnel it into a time frame so that we can be extremely efficient with it. And that's something I can expand on very simply. Right, Jessica and I just had this conversation tonight about how important the consistency in these is really important. What's your process?
Okay, so when he was talking about calls to action, I actually pulled out this book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay, so this is Gary Vaynerchuk. It's really great, and what the premise is, you need to give. And then go in for the ask, not ask, right? So give, ask is kind of like, hey, I'm going to post about my health and fitness journey today. I might show a couple moves that somebody may or may not relate to. Oh, I'm going to show a picture of my food, maybe give somebody some healthy ideas. Hey, I'm going to give a little bit of humor by showing something, a funny story that happened to me today. Oh, I'm going to, you're giving value of some sort, right? You're teaching people something. You're making people think. You're making people laugh. You're inspiring people, something. That's giving, right? And then you go in for the ask, and that's the call to action. So we don't want to be ask, like, join me. Here's something of value. It needs to be something of value. Hey, you guys want to join me? So I would say call to action posts should be once or twice a week tops. Like Justin said with live, like you can always say, hey, if you've ever thought about it, reach out, but I would say if it's an actual call to action post, don't do it too much, because then it's just like, another thing, like what he was saying is, invites, like, I shared, I think on Friday, I shared like a day 0 to day 5 transformation photo, and everybody that liked or comment, I actually messaged privately, and I'm just like, hey, thanks for taking the time, to show me some love on my post. It can sometimes be kind of scary to put yourself out there, so that you did that really means a lot, And then, of course, people naturally respond back saying, oh, you're so welcome, or my pleasure, or keep doing what you're doing, or whatever. But, and so sometimes the conversation will end there, or I'll just say, oh my God, or I'll continue the conversation like, oh my gosh, I saw that your daughter just got her license. Like, my daughter got her license like a year ago. Man, how are you doing with that? Right? So you start that conversation. You don't ask, because you're building the relationship. But everybody that's going to be joining the free group that started today are from this one post that I reached out and I said, thanks for the love. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do what you do. Or I've been meaning to get back into health and fitness. Or, I just don't know, I feel kind of lost. So you're giving me inspiration. I'm like, hey, random, I don't know if you'd be into this, but we actually have a group starting on Monday. Would you like more information? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl. 7 days, simple eating plan, 30-minute workouts. Like, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to work on? Well, I want to do this. I'm like, oh, you're going to love this. It's going to be awesome. And we get to do it together. And then, we kind of go from there. So those are really good. Sorry. And then, and then I do something similar to Justin. Like, it used to be, the Hey Girl messages, which are private messaging people going, hey girl, or hey Jessica, or hey Corey, how are you doing? Or, oh my gosh, I see you just went to Hawaii. How was that? Or where did you go in Hawaii? What island? Now what I do, instead of doing them on private messages, I actually do them in comments on their pages, because Facebook has these things called algorithms that are constantly changing. So whatever we say right now could change tomorrow. And that's just, like anything, things evolve and change. But Facebook wants you to be social. So the more social and interactive you are with one another, they're going to see your posts come up more. So, I go on, and the thing is, you have to be genuine. So that's the thing. If you're like, oh my gosh, your kid is so cute, and they're not, you probably shouldn't just say that. You should just probably keep going. Find something you do like, but make it genuine. You know what I mean? So if you're like, but if it's like, oh my gosh, your hat is so cute, where'd you get it? You're asking them a question. They're naturally going to respond. And then you're like, oh my gosh. And so then that's going to get you in. Your kid, I love that. Your kid has a great personality. That would be amazing. I should do that. But yeah, so it's just something that connects you to. It doesn't have to be about health and fitness. It doesn't have to be just like something genuine that you're like, dude, that's a dope hat. Where'd you get it? Oh, I got it here. Oh, awesome. And then later you invite, right? Or you take it offline. So you've already messaged in there, and then you message them privately, and you're like, oh my gosh, how long ago did you get it? Like, do you love it? Like, does it hold up? Like, and you can continue that conversation privately, but they're going to see you now in their newsfeed because you've interacted. Facebook is going to see that you're being social with them. So clearly you guys have valuable content and connections. So it's kind of a twofer. And then from there, you can be in the conversation. And that's why I like to keep my invites really generic. Like, I don't say, hey, we're starting this group on this day, because we always have groups that we can invite people to. And I used to be really weird. And for 80-day obsession, I'm pretty strict. Everybody that starts 80-day obsession. But generally, if I'm in like week 1 or 2 of my workout group or my online, challenge group or whatever, people can jump on in. Sorry. People can jump on in. So I never give a date. I never say, hey, we're going to start here. I'm like, hey, I've got a group starting soon, or I'm going to be a part of a group starting soon. Do you want to, are you interested? Do you want more information? Whatever. So, yeah, I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna mute you. And then the last thing, and then we'll open it up for a real quick question and answer, and then I'll let you guys go. The last thing is there's gonna be a day of follow-ups, right? Because now you've started a conversation with people, and you're gonna hear a lot of people say, look, you're inviting people, that's great, you're starting new conversations, but fortune's in the follow-up. And it truly is. Guys, this is gonna be the scariest part for most of you. If you think inviting is scary, wait till you start talking about following up. Because now you're going to start feeling like, okay, wait, now I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to frustrate them. I don't want to be pushy. Okay, we've got to stop back, relax, and just understand following up is the most important thing we can do next to inviting, okay? And you're not going to be bothering people, because how you go about it and the mindset you go about it with is what's going to make it not bother people. First of all, I want you to think about, like, imagine that you every morning, and some of you heard this analogy before as well, but it makes sense. Every morning, let's say you go to this one restaurant and you have breakfast. Every morning, same restaurant. And you go in and they have the same waitress every morning. And every morning, the waitress comes over to you the first morning. She goes, hey, would you like coffee? And you go, no, thank you. And then you order your food and you go on. And the next day you show up and she comes over and, would you like coffee this morning? Oh, no, thank you. And you move on, right? Do you know why you're not frustrated that she's offering coffee every morning? Because it's her job and you don't think about it. There's no pressure, and she's going to ask you because she doesn't care if you say yes or no anyway. There's no attachment there. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not bothering her. She's not being like, what can I do to get you into this coffee today? How do I make you buy this? That is icky. That's gross. Nobody wants this. But what happens if you go in and she doesn't offer coffee one day, and it just so happens that it was the day you wanted coffee? You're going to be annoyed that she didn't offer you coffee, because you're going to be like, can I get some coffee? Can't believe she didn't offer me coffee, right? Follow-ups are the exact same way. We go in and we just have to think, look, guys, I honestly cannot tell you how many times we have sent messages with no response whatsoever. A message, you'll look at a message thread, it'll be like, hey, I have no idea if you're interested, but we got this group starting. Hey, I hope I'm not bothering you. I just want to let you know we got this group starting. Hey, I really hope this isn't bugging you. We got every month for 8, 10, over a year, 12 messages with 0 responses. And then one day you get a response where someone's like, oh my God, thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for not forgetting about me. Those are the responses we get from that. I can tell you in 4 years this is our 4th year of coaching, and I honestly can't tell you how many people we've invited over the years or how many people we followed up with. Thousands. I think maybe once we've got a snarky response from a follow-up. Maybe once out of all those times. What happens is you either don't get a response at all, or you get a response to somebody saying, oh my gosh, thank you for not forgetting about me, right? And more often than not, when you look at a room of 400 or 500 coaches or more, and if I ask you the question, who said yes the first time? Who said, this is for me? When they got invited, the very first time they got invited, how many of you, raise your hand if you said, absolutely, first time I got invited, let's do this? How many people, yeah, I'm all in. And you know how many freaking hands are going to raise in that room of 1,000? Maybe 5. The rest of them, all the rest, 995 of the people are going to stand up because they're like, yeah, no, I said no the first time, the second time, the third time. I didn't respond. I got multiple messages before I responded. I was asked to be a coach for literally a year and a half before I decided to be a coach. Legitimately, by the same guy. Kept on saying, you can coach. I was like, nope, I want nothing to do with it. And then all of a sudden, now what am I doing? I'm coaching. You never know. So follow-ups are massively important. In follow-ups, the one little key of advice I'll give you, and then we'll ask for questions. The key of advice I would say is, if you feel like you're going to bother somebody, lead with it then. I always put in my follow-ups, hey, if I'm bugging you, please let me know. That's totally not my intent. Smiley face. I literally put a smiley face, right? Totally not my intent. I just want to let you know we've got another group, starting here soon, and I would love to have you there with us if it's something you think you'd be interested in. No pressure either way. Look forward to hearing from you and talk to you soon. It's really nonchalant, right? Like, it's going to be okay. But if I've got a fear or something, like I'm going to bug you, that's the first thing I'm going to say. I've never had somebody respond with, yeah, you're bugging me. I've had a lot of people respond with, oh my God, no, not at all. You're not bugging me. It's just not a bad time. Or I totally thought I responded to this message. I forgot. I'm so sorry. A lot of that stuff. So lead with that fear and just be honest and real. It's totally okay. Because at the end of the day, we have to recognize it's okay if they say no. It's fine. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me if they say no. It's all about their lack of value in what we're doing, or they're just not being the right time. It's okay. It's about something's going on with them, and that's fine. It has nothing to do with me. So why should I take it personal? I don't get the liberty of taking it personal when it's not against. Stop making it about you. Make it about them, right? And it's that scenario. That's what we have to think about. But we're going to have to, not everyone's going to be at their go time and ready for this. Sometimes it's going to take them multiple invites and it's like 7 interactions or 12 interactions now before people actually decide, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger on something. So imagine it might take you 12 messages before they actually go, you know what, I'm going to go for this. But following up, if we don't follow up, that's a person that is going to find a time where it is the right time at some point. It just means that you're not going to be there and they're not going to think of it if you're not following up, right? They're going to find another way and somebody else to help them. So just keep that in mind. Does anybody have any questions regarding anything about invites? How many, how, what, why, anything? Everybody feels totally comfortable with the invite process, how to talk to people, all of that stuff. Okay. All righty. If everybody's good, like I said.
Everybody's getting Success Club 5 by the end of the month. Whoop! Everybody's getting the Fearless shirt.
There we go. I know it's scary to talk sometimes, right, guys? I know it's scary to be on a chat, and I know it's scary to ask questions. So if you still do have questions about this, please don't hesitate. Like, reach out, let us know. We'll walk you through the process more. More often than not, it's just overthought is what happens. People just overthink it. Just think of it like you're having a conversation with somebody, like your friend. They're just there and you're just talking to them. So just speak what's natural. Share your excitement. Be honest. Share your truth. And just don't have an attachment to the outcome. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. We're just here to let them know that we're going out to dinner and we want them to come with us. That's really what we're after right now. Okay? So I hope that helps anybody. If you guys have any questions, like I said, don't hesitate. Reach out below and the team page about this. Otherwise, you guys, I appreciate your time tonight. Everybody, you guys have a great night. Everybody do well. All right. Eat well. We will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.